All right, let's take a quick run through this practice test. So number 1 says, what quadrant does the angle negative 14.3 lie? Don't forget the picture or your coordinate plane with the degrees. Remember 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees. Sorry for the handwriting. 360 degrees. And negative, you go the other way. So if it says negative 14.3, I'm going just below 0 right there, which puts me in quadrant 4. Quadrant 4. Number 2, find 2 positive and negative angles that are coterminal. Remember, when you see the word coterminal, you're thinking 360. It's all the way around the circle. So I'm going to take 115.3. I'm going to add 360. And I'm going to take 115.3. And I'm going to subtract 360. And I'm really going to do that twice because it says find 2 angles that are positive and 2 angles that are negative that are coterminal. So I'm going to punch that in real quick. And I get 475.3 degrees for the first time. Then I'm going to add 360 to that to get my other one because it says to find 2. And I'm getting 835.3 degrees. Then I'm going to do the subtraction. 115.3 minus 360. I'm getting negative 244.7 degrees. And then I'm going to subtract 360 one more time. I'm getting negative 0.7 degrees, and there's the coterminal. All right, then it says complement and supplement of negative 180. To find the complement, you're going to subtract it from 90 because the complements have to be 90. So if I do 90 minus negative 180, this is crazy, but the complement is 270 degrees. Supplement, you subtract it from 180, and I'll get 360 degrees. Okay, find the 6 trig functions that pass through 9, 1. Let me erase some of this stuff up here. Just wanted to move with the thing. Okay. Here's what I know just looking at that. Remember, tangents, y over x. So I can go ahead and put, tangent's 1/9. Cotangent is not even on here. That's supposed to be cotangent right there. It would be reciprocal of tangent, which is 9. To do this, you need r. Don't forget what r is. R is the square root of x squared plus y squared. All right, so I'm going to say r is 81 plus 1, which is the square root of 82. So sine is y over r, 1 over the square root of 82. You need to fix that and make it look like this, square root of 82. I'm trying here. My iPad, I'm sorry about this, guys. My iPad is going crazy on me. There we go. So you should get square root of 82 over 82. Cosecant's reciprocal of that, which is just square root of 82. Cosine is x over r, 9 over square root of 82, which ends up being 9 on 82 over 82. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine, square root of 82 over 9. All right, now, number 5 works a lot the same way. Depends on how you want to roll here. It says sine is negative 12/13 and it's in quadrant 3. Find the other 5. All right, so number 5, it's giving you what sine is. So automatically, cosecant is reciprocal. So you can go ahead and at least fill that one in. Negative 13/12. My markers is not working. There we go. Now, remember, sine is y over r. So my y is negative 12. My r is 13. So if I set up that equation, I'm going 13 equals the square root of x squared, which I don't know, plus y squared. And y is negative 12. So if you square that, it's 144. To solve this, I'm going to square both sides. That gives me 169 over here. Over here, the square root goes away. If I move that 144 to the other side, I get 25. So x is going to be either plus or minus 5. And the key to knowing which one it is it has this in quadrant 3. In quadrant 3, the x and y are both negative, so my x is negative 5. Cosine, remember, is x over r. I just found out my x is negative 5. My r is 13 from up here. Negative 5/13. Secant is reciprocal of cosine. Tangent is y over x. I know y is negative 12. X is negative 5. They're both negative, so it's going to be positive 12/5, which means cotangent is 5/12. That was really fast. Go back and look at that again if you need to. A lot of stuff there. Let me erase some of this, get out of the way. Okay, number 6 and 7. Find the reference angle. First of all, how far is 330 from 360? Or the x-axis, the closest x-axis is 30 degrees away. So I'm really doing cosine 30, and cosine 30 is square root of 3 over 2. And now look back at the quadrant. We're in quadrant 4 because 330 is in quadrant 4. Cosine is positive in quadrant 4. That's done. Number 7, sine negative 210. Find the reference angle. That's 30 degrees because negative 210 is 30 degrees past negative 180. Okay, so the reference angle is 30. So I'm really thinking, okay, what's sine 30 degrees? Well, sine 30 degrees is 1/2. Now, it's either going to be positive a half or negative a half. And because it's in quadrant 2, because it's a little bit past negative 180, okay, I got to think, is sine positive or negative in quadrant 2? It's positive. Okay, so I'm done right there. Number 8, now we're starting a review. I would work inside the parentheses first. I'm flipping the x and the z because they have negative exponents. Don't flip the negative 4. Right now, the negative 2 is outside. I'm going to raise everything to the negative 2 power. Actually, let's do the 2 first. The 2 means I'm going to square everything. I don't know what I want. Okay, let's just do negative 2. If I raise negative 4 to the negative 2 power, that means I'm going to square it and flip it. If you square negative 4, it becomes 16. If you flip it, it goes to the bottom. The stuff on the bottom, you're going to do 5 times negative 2, which would be negative 10, which means I'm going to flip it to the top. Same thing with the z. Multiply, flip it to the top. There you go. May not be the best way to go right there, but it works really well. Okay, number 9. Factor, slide, divide, slide. I'm sliding the 6 to the 15. Everybody knows 15 times 6 is 90. Factor that part. That's x minus 10, x plus 9. I'm going to divide now. Remember, slide, divide, slide. So I'm dividing everything by 6. Reduce those fractions. 10/6 is really 5/3. 9/6 is really 3/2. And I'm going to slide. Slide the bottom numbers to the front. I'm going to slide that 3 in the front of the x. Slide the 2 in front of the x. And guys, there it is. That's your answer right there. And if you want to check it, especially on Friday, just do FOIL and see if it leads you back to where you started. Number 10, simplify. You're allowed to multiply radicals as long as the index is the same, which are both square roots, so I'm good here. If I multiply those two, I get 12x squared, y squared. You can break down the 12 with a 4 and a 3. The square root of 4 is 2. Don't know the square root of 3, it stays inside. And because the index is really 2, if I go 2 into 2 on the x, I get 1. If I go 2 into 2 on the y, I get 1. It's 2xy on the square root of 3. And there you go. Number 11, zip line problem again. We did this one last week. The longest zip line in the world is Zip Rider IC straight point elastic. Its length is 54.95 feet. And its vertical drop of 1320. Find the angle of depression. Remember, the angle of depression or angle of elevation must touch the horizontal. So I'm going to draw my right triangle. It says the length of the zip line is 54.95. The zip line comes right through here. The vertical drop is vertical. It's right there. The angle of depression or elevation, always that touches the horizontal, it's right there. There's my theta. So I'm going to set it up like this. I'm going, because I have opposite and hypotenuse, I'm going to go sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. All right, now, because I'm looking for an angle here, I'm going to go inverse sine of opposite of 1320 over 54.95 and see what I get. I'm getting 13.9 degrees, which is, believe it or not, that's actually pretty steep for a zip line. So there you go. Let's turn the page. Number 12, using your calculator, find these two things. So you can just punch in straight up sine 54 degrees. I'm hitting sine 54, enter, and I'm getting this answer right here. I'm getting 0.8, that's an 8, 0.8090. Now when it says cosecant, there's not a cosecant button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch it in this way. I'm punching in 1 over sine 49.5 because it's reciprocal. That's a 0.5. So I'm doing 1 divided by sine, I'm trying, be patient with me, 49.5. You could be punching this in as well. And I'm getting 1.3151 when I punch that in 4 decimal places. Okay, more review stuff. Describe how the graph can be obtained from this one. That's the 5 is inside. Remember, it shifts left to right opposite of what you think. So that one would shift right. I'm just kidding there. Shift left 5 because it's opposite of what you think. This one, the negative's on the outside. That means it reflects across the x axis. And the 2, because it's in the front and it's outside, it's a vertical stretch by 2. All right, number 15. 15 has a 1/3 in the front. Instead of a vertical stretch, that's going to be a vertical shrink by 1/3. And because the -3 is inside, that's going to be a shift. Remember, opposite of what you think. Shift right 3. Okay, so remember all those gestures we did. The gestures get you through all of that. 16 is asking for the inverse. Don't forget the inverse gesture. You take the x's and the y's and you switch them, and then you get the y by itself. So I'm going to put the x over here, the y on this side. Then I'm trying to get the y by itself, so I'm taking the 2 over here, dividing by 5. When I divide by 5, I'm getting x plus 2 over 5. And don't forget, we want to end up with f negative 1, not just a y. So be careful there. 17, f minus g of 2. My advice is do it this way. My advice is take that 2, let's plug it into there, and plug it into there and see what we get. When I plug it into f, I get 2 squared minus 2, that's 0. When I plug it into g, I get 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so I'm doing 0 minus 7, which is negative 7. That's all there is to it. Same thing on 18. I'm going to plug 3 into f and 3 into g. When I plug it into f, I get 1. No, don't I get 7. Sorry, 3 squared is 9 minus 2 is 7. And I'll plug it into g. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. And because it's f times g, I'm going to multiply right there. And I got 70. And f divided by g, doing the same thing. It says 3 again. I already have it written here. Let's see. When I plug 3 into f, they give me now I got 7. When I plugged 3 into g a minute ago, I got 10. So that's just going to be 7/10. All right. And then number 20, one we should know, tangent 30 degrees. Okay, remember tangent and sine, I'll do it the long way. Tangent and sine over cosine. So it's really sine 30 over cosine 30. Sine 30 is 1/2. Cosine 30 is square root of 3 over 2. Remember, you can cancel their denominators because they're the same. That gives me this. Don't leave it like that. Remember, take the square root to the top. Take the number out on the bottom. Square root of 3 over 3. You got it. And guys, that's it. I hope that helps you some. Watch it as much as you need to. You can skip around. So do good. Study. See you tomorrow.